nearly 3 weeks since the Bulandshahr violence, where a cop was murdered in broad daylight in the name of Goraksha. But these two men, the key accused who allegedly led the mob, still roam free. Not only that, one of them now wants court to stop the police from seizing his property.
Under the nose of UP police, Shikhar Agarwal approaches the court to seek relief from UP police because apparently there was a notice that was stuck on the house of Shikhar Agarwal saying that if you don't surrender before a certain amount of time, your property will be sealed.
Earlier, the very same man, who the Yogi police says is untraceable, had released a video from his hideout claiming his innocence.
मेरा ही नाम शिखर अग्रवाल है। मैं बीजेपी का शाहनगर नगर अध्यक्ष युवा मोर्चा का हूं। जो घटना कल घटी थी, उस घटना को मीडिया ने, पुलिसकर्मियों ने, सभी ने तोड़ मरोड़ के अलग-अलग तरीकों से पेश किया गया।
As each day passes by, it's becoming clearer that the priority of the UP police lies someplace else.
गाँव के आसपास गोकशी नहीं होने देंगे और जो गोकशी करेगा उसका सामाजिक बहिष्कार करेंगे।
And justice for the cop's family isn't a priority.
The government of Uttar Pradesh is somehow weak right now. And it has been weak for over the 4 years because what happened to my father in this state is setting us an example as well as telling the truth that the power of the government right now. What values do they hold? What things do they want for this state?
Mirror now asks, is the UP police going soft on cop killers? Let's debate.
Good evening and wish you all a Merry Christmas. Tonight on the Urban Debate, we speak about the Bulandshahr incident one more time. 3 weeks ago, viewers, a mad mob, angry at having allegedly discovered carcasses of cows, took to the streets of a village in Bulandshahr. Many of them allegedly had links to the right-wing groups. This mob was so pumped up that when a policeman stepped up to calm them down, to stop them, to speak with them and convince them that let the law take its own course, they took his gun, they took his wireless set, they shot him and then continued rioting and pelting stones. Yogesh Raj, allegedly a local Bajrang man, was caught on tape but never arrested by the UP police. Shikhar Agarwal, allegedly a member of the BJP Yuva Morcha, was booked but never arrested. One rioter who died in this incident, son of a local BJP man, his family got compensation. But what about justice to the family of SHO Subodh Kumar? Well, one could ask and one would want to ask Chief Minister Adityanath, but then he is so busy traveling, campaigning in various other states. He attended 55 rallies during the recently concluded election season of 5 states, none of which were Uttar Pradesh, by the way. He is also busy thinking of new names for cities not just in his own state, but also other states, including in Telangana. He also has the added pressure of competing with his Bihar counterpart in setting up a statue and a memorial for Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Adityanath, of course, then also has to think about the open public spaces that are being taken over by the Muslims when they go out to pray and how that must be stopped. So you see, the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister is so busy with all of these things and the rampant cow smuggling that goes on in the state of Uttar Pradesh that it's difficult to ask him the question and for him to have time to look into what happened to the murder of SHO Subodh. But we will continue to ask this question because we care for men in uniform, because we care for justice, and we certainly don't care for rioters who take to streets, who don't show any respect to law and order, and who definitely don't show any respect to men in uniform. Tonight we ask, is the Uttar Pradesh police intentionally going soft on the rioters, on the accused in the Bulandshahr violence case? And if so, why is it? Is it because these people are linked to the Bajrang Dal, to some Yuva Morcha, to the BJP. Let's say good evening to our panelists. Anita Agarwal, spokesperson for the BJP, C. Singh, former IGP of Punjab, Atul Chandra, senior journalist, Dr. Geeta Bhatt, an academician, Abdul Hafiz Gandhi, spokesperson for the Samajwadi Party, and Yogesh Sultan Khan, human rights activist. And let me start with Anita Agarwal. Anita ji, ये बहुत ही बड़ी कंस्पिरेसी है, मतलब इतनी बड़ी कंस्पिरेसी हो गई, दंगा हो गया, पुलिस वाले को मार दिया गया, कम से कम 20 नहीं तो उससे ज़्यादा गाय की वहाँ पे हमें कारकस मिले। ये कंस्पिरेसी का कब हल पता चलेगा, कब पता चलेगा कि कौन है इसके पीछे?
देखिए, इसमें पुलिस पूरा अपना काम कर रही है। पुलिस ने उसमें क्या कहते हैं कुर्की के वो भी कराया है, और सब जितने भी एक्यूज 25 लोग कम से कम इसमें अरेस्ट हो चुके हैं। और ऐसा नहीं है कि पुलिस अपना काम नहीं कर रही है। अब बाकी कोर्ट तक मामला पहुंच गया है, कोर्ट तक ये केस चला गया है, कोर्ट में लोग पहुंचने लग गए हैं। तो लेकिन हमारे 25 लोग गिरफ्तार में हो चुके हैं, और इस सबके जितने जो आरोपी थे सबके कुर्की के आदेश भी हो चुके हैं कोर्ट के द्वारा कि उसमें कुर्की की जाए, सब किया जाए। मतलब अपना पुलिस अपना पूरी तरीके से काम कर रही है। ऐसा नहीं कि पुलिस हाथ पे हाथ धरे बैठी है, लेकिन ये बात सही है कि वहाँ पे जो साजिश थी उसका खुलासा जरूर होगा, लेकिन थोड़ा समय लगेगा, खुलासा
तो ये आपको पक्का है कि साजिश थी? क्या साजिश थी, किसने किया, ये नहीं पता। ये तो बड़ी अजीब चीज है। 3 हफ्ते हो गए, इतना बड़ा दंगा हो गया, पूरा का पूरा उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार हमें रोज बोलती है, चीफ मिनिस्टर से लेके लोकल पुलिस वाले तक, साजिश है जी, साजिश, बहुत बड़ी साजिश है। क्या है हमें नहीं पता, पर साजिश तो होगी, क्योंकि हमारी गलती तो हो ही नहीं सकती, क्योंकि जो वो गुंडे थे उनकी गलती हो ही नहीं सकती। उन गुंडों को पकड़ने की क्या जरूरत है? गुंडे वीडियो पे वीडियो निकालते चले जा रहे हैं, दंगा कर चुके, पुलिस अफसर को मार चुके, उसके बाद वीडियो निकाल रहे, खुलेआम घूम रहे, कोर्ट जा सकते हैं, लॉयर को हायर कर सकते हैं, कोर्ट में जाके ये बोल सकते हैं कि मेरी प्रॉपर्टी मुझसे मत छीनो, मैं पुलिस के सामने नहीं आऊंगा, मैं अक्यूज हूं, मैं राइटर हूं, मेरा नाम है एफआईआर में, पुलिस मुझे ढूंढ रही है, लेकिन मैं पुलिस के सामने नहीं आऊंगा। लेकिन वो लोग कोर्ट जा सकते हैं, वहां पे एक नया मुकदमा दर्ज कर सकते हैं। ये कैसा कानून है और कैसे ये पुलिस अपना काम कर रही है, बताइए मुझे, समझाइए।
सबसे ऊपर होता है
किसके लिए?
मैडम, कानून सबसे ऊपर होता है, कानून की तहत पे कार्य हो रहा है। और सबसे बड़ी बात है कि साजिश तो अंडरस्टूड है,
लेकिन गौ रक्षक तो उनके ऊपर ही होते हैं ना।
परिवारों के घर में, कुछ परिवारों के घर में जब गौ मांस के टुकड़े मिलते हैं,
वही तो मैं कह रही हूँ,
आगे पीछे कभी
गौ रक्षक तो उनके ऊपर, कानून के ऊपर होते हैं ना। गौ मांस के टुकड़े मिल गए, इतनी बड़ी बात हो गई, वो पहले केस सॉल्व किया जाएगा ना, गौ रक्षक लोग को तो बाद में देखा जाएगा, है ना?
नहीं, उसी और उसी दिन दूसरे ही धर्म का एक कार्यक्रम होता है जिसको उसी रास्ते से जाना होता है।
शर्म आनी चाहिए आप लोगों को।
उसी दिन ये हुआ, आगे पीछे कभी नहीं। इसका मतलब कोई ना कोई साजिश है तो अंडरस्टूड है, इसमें तो कहने की बात ही नहीं है कि हाँ की अंडरस्टूड नहीं है। हाँ, ये बात सही है कि उसमें जो है पुलिस अपना काम कर रही है, कुर्की के आदेश दिए हैं, कोर्ट में जा रही है, कोर्ट में केस चला गया है, और कानून से बढ़कर कोई नहीं है। कानून के ऊपर ही ऊपर आके कुछ नहीं, जो कानून होगा वही तय किया जाएगा। कोर्ट उसको अपनी सजा देगी, कोई मुलजिम बख्शा नहीं जाएगा।
मतलब मुझे ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा कि मैं गुस्सा हूं या हंसूं आपकी इस आश्वासन पे। जो कैमरा पे जिनको पकड़ा गया है, जो दंगा कर रहे हैं, जो पत्थर फेंक रहे हैं, जो गाली दे रहे हैं, जो पुलिस वाले के पीछे भाग रहे हैं, वो खुलेआम घूम रहे हैं, वो वीडियो पे वीडियो दे रहे हैं, वो पुलिस स्टेशन के बाहर उनके आदमी आके मीडिया को वीडियो दे के चले जाते हैं, आपके पुलिस वाले उनको पकड़ते नहीं। लेकिन पुलिस वालों के पास इतना समय है कि एक 10 साल के लड़के को, एक 11 साल के लड़के को जाके सवाल पूछे कि गाय को किसने मारा, और उनका नाम एफआईआर में दर्ज करे। कि जो लोग अपने काम कर रहे हैं, बैंक में बैठ के काम कर रहे हैं, जिनका सीसीटीवी में विजुअल है कि वो ऑफिस में बैठे हुए हैं, उनको जाके अरेस्ट करें झूठे मुकदमे में, ये आप करेंगे और ऐसे आप लोग जस्टिस देंगे। अतुल चंद्रा, आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड, is it that the police is incompetent or is it because the message is 1 minute?
25
योगेश राज कहाँ है? शिखर अग्रवाल कहाँ है? बताइए मुझे। बता सकती हैं आप अनीता जी? योगेश राज जो बजरंग दल से जुड़े हैं।
देखिए, योगेश राज और शिखर नहीं, देखिए बजरंग दल से आप कह रही है जुड़े हैं, जो भी है वो पुलिस उनके घर में जा चुकी है, कुर्की के उनके यहाँ चिपका चुकी है, कुर्की के आदेश हो चुके हैं, सब पुलिस अपना काम कर ही रही, तभी कुर्की के आदेश हुए हैं।
और शिखर अग्रवाल जी,
काम के कुर्की के आदेश,
यूथ विंग प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ द सियाना यूनिट ऑफ भारतीय जनता पार्टी, इनको नहीं ढूंढ पाई आपकी पुलिस? कोर्ट तक चले गए वो, आपकी पुलिस नहीं ढूंढ पा रही उनको? I don't understand. Let me ask our other panelists, and I'm going to start with Mr. Atul Chandra and then Mr. C. Pal Singh. Mr. Atul Chandra, is the police incompetent, or is the messaging from the government very clear? The priority is not to catch the killers of SHO Subodh Kumar. The priority is to catch the cow killers.
That is obviously the priority of the state government, and that has been its priority from day one. I am now having doubts that the e-surveillance system of UP police is utterly useless. Because if an accused posts videos again and again and the e-surveillance system is not able to track him down, then I suppose there's something drastically wrong with the police's efficiency and its intentions as well. I suppose that there are instructions, that's obvious, because the way the police are going about this case, especially in tracking down the main accused, it clearly shows that cow is of primary importance for this government, and the uniformed officer who died while serving, while averting a major, let's say, riot or something, for him there is no relief, there is no honor, and there is no word of sympathy. So the government, it's very simple, because we have seen in the past kidnappers being tracked down within 24 hours. And rescue operations have resulted in the quarry being saved. But this time, the police are obviously not in a mood to get after the two accused, the two main accused. They perhaps are not inclined to go and arrest them. It is impossible that their whereabouts are not known to the police.
No,
it
and
is
there have
simply
been
not understandable.
Yes. And there have been, Mr. Chandra, repeated comments that have been given on and off record by police officers in Uttar Pradesh to say that the instruction to us is very clear. We first have to find out where these cow carcasses came from, and then we will look at the rest of the issue. So obviously, that's the message that has gone to them. Here is a accused who's gone to court to say, please stop the police from attaching my property, but who is obviously not bothered to turn up in front of the police, and the police keep saying that they haven't found him. Mr. C. Pal Singh, please help us explain. If in an incident where there are two different aspects to it, one is obviously the fact that you found these carcasses and at some point you have to figure out how and why they landed up there, and the second is the mob violence, the murder of a cop that's taken place. Clearly the two is connected. Shouldn't the police ideally start from the people they can see on those visuals, those videos that have been shot? They can see these people are writing. Shouldn't they start with them and ask them, where did you find these carcasses?
You see, first of all, the impunity which is being given to the cow vigilance, the tacit approval by the government to such rowdy elements who have been indulging in mob lynching has gone down to the people that they can indulge in any lawless activity and they'll go scot-free. Now this sort of atmosphere, this sort of environment which are prevailing in UP is one of the main reasons, because the feeler goes down to the police functionaries that irrespective of the fact whether somebody, a human being is killed, whether a police officer has been killed, let us first try to go towards the people who have slaughtered cow. Now imagine the priority. Second, after the incident, the chief minister visits the site after 4 days. And there immediately he announces that this is an accidental case. A few days after that, he doesn't announce, but one of his spokesperson on this channel said, no, it was a case of mob lynching. And after some time, he himself again says, no, it is a major conspiracy. Now imagine, they are giving their own version without getting any tangible report, without getting any tangible evidence from the police. And one of the senior officer of the level of ADGP, he also gives the report that there has been a very major conspiracy. Now you think how the case of murder, the case of killing of a police constable has been just put on the side track. Their emphasis is different. Now when this emphasis shifts, obviously there's a lackadaisical approach, there's a laxity, and the people start taking advantage of this. B, the accused, if he has not been arrested within a short span of time, within a day or 2 or 3, he gets a time. He gets it, even he gets a time to flee, he gets time to destroy the evidence, he gets time to do whatever he wants to do by pressure from the political bosses. This opportunity you have given. Third, now this accused has been coming on the social media, as one of the spokespersons has pointed out, with lot of investigation tools available with us in the cyber investigation. It was not very difficult to trace where he is. This again has not happened. Now ultimately what has happened? The High Court, Allahabad, has taken cognizance and they have given them the date that give us status report within 15 days. You mean you want to get a jerk from the High Court to start your investigation and ask a time frame. This is the attitude which the police functionaries have adopted right from the day one on the basis of what has been passed on to them by the political bosses. And now the High Court has come up, they say they give us a report within a time frame of 15 days. The other accused has the guts to go to the court that no, I want a bail. So High Court again in another case has said, first you appear, surrender before the court. Then we'll see whether there is a bail or not. You try to understand the entire gamut of activities. The entire gamut of activities shows that there is some sort of patronage. On the basis of this patronage, one accused is going to social media. He is not bothered to come. He is being supported by Bajrang Dal along with some other people.
No, but also,
and
Mr.
the second accused says, I want to appeal. Nothing is happening. It's
Also,
all
Mr.
going
Singh,
about
because these
no
people have so much
effective-
more important things to do rather than coming and turning up at the police station and giving their statement about what they saw and where they saw it. They have more important things to do. They have to save more cows. Every day there are cow smugglers roaming around the entire state of Uttar Pradesh. So obviously Yogesh Raj and Shikhar Agarwal don't have the time for a police investigation in the murder case, and nobody is asking them. I don't understand this. Dr.
they
Geeta
have got
Bhatt.
a time for... They have,
Yes.
we are very...
Mr. Singh, I will come back to you.
Absolutely right. On the one hand, they come and tell what is happening.
Yes, I'll come back to you, Mr. Singh. Let me just take that aspect to Geeta Bhatt. Geeta Bhatt, don't you think that if these two men who have released videos and said that, you know what, we were present there, we saw that these cow carcasses had been discovered. I called my supporters, I went to the police station, we started filing a complaint, then these pelters came, then the youth got angry. They are very crucial to both aspects of the case. But the police doesn't seem interested in catching them at all. So why should we even believe that the police wants to crack this conspiracy?
Well, Tanvi, there is an echo, if you can please correct it. You see, I agree with you that, you know, no one has a right to take law in their hands, whether it is the, you know, the top executive of the state, a chief minister, or whether it is, you know, any other, citizen of this country. But the fact remains that it is very unfortunate that across the country, it is, you know, this kind of a phenomena where people are kind of losing faith in in the law and those who are there to protect the law. We have seen the same kind of a thing happening where the lynching of DYSP Ayub Pandit took place in front of a mosque in Srinagar, and how he died. By those people who came out of the mosque, they were nothing short of rioters. They were also rioters because they lynched Ayub Pandit to death. Similarly, we see today that the chief minister, no one else but the chief minister of Karnataka, he is openly telling there has been an unfortunate death, but you see, taking law in their own hands. He is ordering that you go ahead and just kill mercilessly whosoever is the individual who is responsible for the unfortunate death of a JDS leader in Karnataka. And we have seen the kind of mob lynchings which have been taking place. It happened in Assam. It happened in Tamil Nadu. It has happened. I mean, let us not forget that. It is, the peace and harmony of the country is at target. And this case is also, a part of that conspiracy. Whosoever is responsible, whether it is as it is alleged by you that it is of Bajrang Dal or any other, party. If the person is responsible, irrespective of its affiliation,
so I am not alleging that Bajrang Dal is responsible for anything.
And if the state government is not taking...
I am not alleging that the Bajrang Dal or the BJP Youth Wing, Yuva Morcha or the BJP is responsible for any of it. I am just saying that the people who've been booked are linked and are connected to these groups. I agree with you that in many states today we are seeing politicians send across a message to the law and order machinery as to how to handle and deal with crime. And you brought up a very interesting point about the Karnataka Chief Minister, and we were just debating that a short while ago, where he says he got carried away by his emotions, and he told the police that you go kill these people who killed my man. And now, either the police is expected to follow that, if that is the case, true in the example of Karnataka, Geeta Bhatt, then the same is true in the case of Uttar Pradesh, where the Chief Minister in the first two instances after this incident only spoke about the cow smuggling and taking strict action on cow smugglers, and didn't speak about the rioters or the murderers of SHO. So then do you agree that that's how it functions, where the politicians and ministers in our country give a message and the police follows that? By the same logic.
You see, the irony has been that, Tanvi, that there has been no police reforms in this country, and none of the political parties are taking it seriously, which is very urgently, it is in dire need of reforms, because it is very important that those who are responsible to take care of the law and order situation in the country, they need to be independent of the kind of, the political system which is around us, which unfortunately is not happening. And that is one reason that we come across these kind of cases. I mean, how can we forget that, there was exactly the opposite of this, that in Karnataka, Nandini, who was an IT engineer and came across of illegal trafficking of and slaughtering of, slaughterhouses which were being run, where cows were being cut. When she reported it to police in Bangalore, 200 people surrounded her car, and they, her bones were broken, black and blue, and she had to be hospitalized for months. So it is this very country where this is also happening. If the cow slaughtering is illegal, isn't it the duty of the state to take responsibility?
Well, I don't know.
That the mafia which is
ask the BJP that despite the recent loss is in power in still more than half the states in our country, Geeta Bhatt. So ask the BJP this question, that why, after having been in power for 5 years in Rajasthan and then being kicked out, they were unable to stop cow smuggling and cow slaughter in Rajasthan, why they've failed miserably in stopping this in Uttar Pradesh or in Haryana or in any other state that the BJP also rules, since they care so much about the cow. I will tell you why. Because their interest is not in stopping cow slaughter, their interest is only creating noise about cow slaughter so that they can go ahead and make it an election issue and a vote issue. So it works for them that randomly 22 carcasses of cows pop up at some place, and they never solve the conspiracy. They keep adding fuel to the fire, and every now and then one politician will stand up and say, ये एक साजिश है, कैसे आई वहाँ पे गाय, किसने रखी वहाँ पे गाय को काट के, किसने डाला वहाँ पे. Just say this and walk away, and then let the impact of that give you some political points. Let's just rile up sentiments. That's all that we are witnessing in Uttar Pradesh right now. Of course, Yogi ji is more busy in competing with Nitish Kumar about who will build the statue for Atal Bihari Vajpayee first. Always Sultan Khan has been patiently waiting by, and Abdul Hafiz Gandhi. I'll go to Abdul Hafiz first because Geeta Bhatt raised an important issue, which is about police reforms. State of these police, current police in Uttar Pradesh, the SP must also be held responsible because you destroyed the entire structure when you were in power, and this is what the BJP has to deal with now.
Tanvi, it's not that we destroyed the whole structure. We also know that police reforms are required. And these police reforms are required for the entire country, for all the states, and not specifically for the UP. But police they have enough laws where police can act independently. Now, in this case only, you see, as far as the alleged cow slaughter is concerned, police is acting promptly. And it is also arresting the innocent people. They arrested, and then later on they realize that these are innocent people, and then they release them. But as far as the death of the police officer is concerned, as far as the rioting is concerned, police is very slow. So the message is very clear that political leadership which is running this state is not interested in solving the death of the SHO. It is more interested in polarization politics, which will benefit them in the 2019. So the message from the Chief Minister is very clear that if you belong to RSS, if you belong to BJP, nothing will happen to you. And that is why no action is being taken against this Yogesh Raj and Shikhar Agarwal, because they belong to BJP and the affiliates of RSS. And you know, after this Bulandshahr incident, the review meeting was held by the Chief Minister. And you know, in the press release of the review meeting, there was no mention of the SHO. The only mention was that the strict action must be taken against the alleged cow slaughterers. So the Chief Minister is very clear from the day one that his whole intention is not to solve the case, but to create communal polarization, which will ultimately help the BJP. And they are not doing it in Uttar Pradesh. They have done it in Rajasthan. They have done in other states where they ruled. Because as you said, that this whole politics, cow politics, they don't want to solve it. They just are interested in creating polarization which will benefit them. And I am saying that please solve this case, because the sacrifice of a police officer is asking you again and again that please act. And I would request the UP police, you have enough laws to act independently. Your own officer is killed. He's sacrificed for the sake of the society, for the sake of the communal harmony in this country. Please do something for your officer at least. And Mr. Chief Minister, please don't deviate the attention of the people by raising non-issues. You are raising non-issues every day. So, Hanumanji is Dalit. You cannot, offer namaz, building statues and all. These are non-issues for us. The issue is bread and butter. The issue is law and order, which you are.
So you say, Mr. Abdul Hafiz Gandhi, that you say that you also acknowledge that police reforms are necessary. Why didn't you do any during your tenure?
Tanvi, can I just make a comment?
Yes, coming to you next after an answer to this. Yes, Mr. Abdul Hafiz.
Tanvi, it's not that we are not in favor of police reforms. We did our...
No, you didn't do any police reforms. The state of law and order in Uttar Pradesh was non-existent even during Samajwadi Party's tenure. The rhetorics may be different, the focus of the crime may be different, but the state of affairs was the same.
Tanvi,
your own netas would roam around free, rape-accused netas would roam around free for days together without anybody even so much as bothering as to catching them.
Tanvi,
the state of jails and the kind of VVIP treatment that went on there for connected criminals went on even during Samajwadi's time. So what reforms are you talking about?
Tanvi, there is a difference. Tanvi, if you see the data, the 24% crimes have increased against women in this present government. So it is not that everything was not, good when we were ruling this the state of Uttar Pradesh. We were maintaining and ensuring law and order. We are not saying that everything was good, but we provided a better administration as far as law and order situation is concerned.
Okay.
37% crimes overall have increased in Uttar Pradesh, and 24%
quickly, Geeta Bhatt wanted to come in, and then I will go across to Oves. Yes, Geeta.
Make your way here. Yeah, I just want to remind Mr. Gandhi that it was Samajwadi Party's government, you know, when Durga Shakti Nagpal, a very talented woman IAS officer, she was suspended just because she had broken an unauthorized wall of an unauthorized mosque in Samajwadi Party, which all of us, you know, and there was so much of pressure from all across the country, after which she was reinstated back by the same government.
Anita Agarwal, do you
know, when
also
they
want
make
to...
tall claims about law and order situation in Uttar Pradesh,
I agree. Samajwadi Party has absolutely no moral ground to boast about any kind of law and order situation, one would assume. But Anita Agarwal, समाजवादी के जो समय था उससे आपके समय में अगर देखें तो crime against women, Abdul Hafiz Gandhi says crime against women has gone up during your time. मतलब उनके खराब रिकॉर्ड से बदतर रिकॉर्ड कैसे मैनेज कर लिया आप लोगों ने?
It is No, Tanvi, I'm giving you the
question
data.
to Anita Agarwal,
24% crimes have increased against women in this government.
Yes.
In this government.
Question to Anita Agarwal then.
Pardon?
तन्वी जी एक सेकंड
जी बोलिए अनीता जी.
तन्वी जी एक सेकंड. एक सबसे बड़ी बात है कि समाजवादी पार्टी और भारतीय जनता पार्टी में मात्र एक पहला सबसे फर्क ये है कि इन लोग की एफआईआर लिखी नहीं जाती थी, इन लोग की एफआईआर होती नहीं थी. हमारी एफआईआर ऑनलाइन होती है और सब
आपकी कौन सी एफआईआर लिखी जाती है ये बताइए.
और सबसे बड़ी बात ये है कि
उन्नाव में आपने 1 साल तक एफआईआर नहीं लिखी.
देखिए
आप लोग झूठ बोलने में माहिर हैं.
आप ये बताइए, आपने मुजफ्फरनगर कांड आपको शायद है, देखिए गांधी जी आपको मालूम होगा मुजफ्फरनगर कांड में.
आप ये बताइए कुलदीप सेंगर केस में कितने दिन बाद एफआईआर हुई और वो भी कोर्ट के बाद एफआईआर हुई थी. कुलदीप सेंगर केस में आपने एफआईआर नहीं की थी. आप कुलदीप सेंगर केस में बताइए.
वो आपके मंत्री थे.
कुलदीप सेंगर केस में बताइए.
कुलदीप सेंगर में सीबीआई की जांच चल रही है.
प्रजापति को हमारी सरकार ने गिरफ्तार किया था, आपको शायद पता नहीं है. प्रजापति की गिरफ्तारी हमारी सरकार ने हुई थी. प्रजापति की गिरफ्तारी हमारी सरकार ने हुई थी, लेकिन कुलदीप सेंगर को आपने हर वक्त बचाया. You people supported
1 minute please to the political representatives on this panel. Can I have some silence here now,
every
please?
time.
This is not a political debate. This is a debate about the state of affairs of law and order in Uttar Pradesh and accountability when it comes to the Bulandshahr mob violence and the murder of a cop case. And so I again ask, why is it that those two people have not been arrested? They admit that they were part of the group that was present that day. They obviously know what was happening and how it got triggered. Why is it that the police doesn't want to ask them any question? Yogesh Sultan Khan, you've been patiently listening to everybody. Go ahead, please, make your point.
I will begin from two major observations before coming to your question. I was really shocked when I heard and when I saw the beginning video of this show, where a senior police officer was having a public pledge of social boycott. It is really shocking. It is unconstitutional and it is unlawful. How come a police officer can give a call of social boycott in public for any reason? It cannot. It cannot happen according to the Constitution. It is a crime. And I think some court should take the cognizance of this kind of behavior by UP State Police. And this behavior is not from the police itself. It is some political bosses who are dictating the thing. The second thing I want to make it clear here that my fellow panelists said that Masjid, the mosque of Samajwadi Party, mosque cannot be of any political party. Please correct your facts. And I now come to your point. Yogi Adityanath said that it is a political conspiracy, and the major thing which he said in the interview that we should go for some root causes. But we didn't find any word of justice or hope for justice from him in his interview. At the same time, if we compare the word of Yogi Adityanath with the videos released by Shikhar Agarwal, BJP youth wing leader who is involved in this lynching and rioting case of Bulandshahr, both are justifying directly and indirectly the violence, and they are saying that it can happen and we are free from all kind of law and order rules. So it is really shameful, and I am really sorry that Geeta Bhatt here in this panel is again and again creating the binaries of communalism, and she is bringing the non-issues here. She is running away from the Bulandshahr, and she is talking everything only to satisfy the right-wing people who are against the constitution of this country.
Geeta Bhatt, would you want to respond to that before I go to our other panelists?
Can I come in? Yes. Well, my co-panelist has, has made a charge on me. First of all, I think he did not hear me correct, and he somehow does not have any sympathy towards a honest lady officer who was suspended during Samajwadi Party's rule. Well, anyway, Mr. Khan, that is your understanding. Well,
Masjid
you can
was
have.
not. I am saying Masjid was not of Samajwadi Party. You said Masjid of Samajwadi Party.
Let me complete. I did not interrupt. Let us be little tolerant, Mr. Khan. I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. You please have some tolerance. I mean, I think this is making it very clear who is intolerant over here. Now the fact remains that there was a person, an individual called Prashant Pujari in Karnataka who was hacked to death just because he protested the illegal cow slaughtering. He did not even make it to the national headline of any media or TV channel as a debate object. Are you going to condemn it, or are you going to say it is okay? Are you going to say it is okay? Are you going to say it is okay? There are just a couple of months back, two priests in Aurora, they were hacked to death. They were hacked to death just because they protested.
Let's not derail ourselves from Bulandshahr tonight. Please calm down, everybody. Let's not derail ourselves from Bulandshahr tonight, please. This debate is about Uttar Pradesh and Bulandshahr. We will have another debates like we always do on the other comments. I'm going to ask all my panelists to not yell, and definitely not yell over each other. But to the point that was raised by Yogesh Sultan Khan about the police going around in that region, supposedly they call these awareness campaigns and rallies where they tell people to then take an oath, to take a vow that they're not going to help people who are indulging in cow smuggling. And Yogesh Sultan Khan says that that's not legal, that's also not ethical. There was a video that also came earlier this year in February 2018.
No, it is unconstitutional.
It is unconstitutional. Okay, taken.
It is unconstitutional.
Point taken.
It is unconstitutional. We have banned in 1950.
Point taken, always.
Because we have
in February 2018, in fact, if you remember, there was also a video of a UP top cop taking an oath to help build Ram Mandir. So my question is to Atul Chandra, and then we'll go to other panelists. That Mr. Chandra, can it be really denied that at least the police in Uttar Pradesh is completely politicized and sometimes work on biased and even communal ways because of the establishment in power, irrespective of whether it is BJP now or Samajwadi Party earlier?
Absolutely, and it's not just politicization. UP has had a large number of politicians with criminal antecedents, and the criminal politician interface with police has led to criminalization of police as well. So you look at the number of crimes being committed by policemen, it's shocking actually. In Bulandshahr itself, in October, 5 policemen were sent to jail for, framing a innocent person in a dacoity case, and they had gone and looted his house. So this is there, and politicization is so deep-rooted. That is why no political party is in favor of police reforms. Akhilesh Yadav ignored Supreme Court's order. Adityanath is also sitting over it because they feel that if they can have control over the police, they can use the cops whichever way they want. They can use them to let go of criminals. They can use them to let go of their party workers if they have done anything wrong. And this cuts across party lines. what is happening now is that this sub-inspector is asking people to take a vow, take an oath that they will protect cows. So this is different from what was happening in Akhilesh Yadav's regime. They were having a different attitude and different bent of mind and a different political ideology altogether. And they assiduously supported that ideology.
Yes.
Opposite of that, we are witnessing here. Now, what is happening is that if Mr. Prakash Singh again goes to Supreme Court, he will not be able to help in any way getting the police reforms done, because eventually it is the state government which is responsible to implement that, and the Supreme Court has left it to the state governments.
Yes, and look at the way these chief ministers treat the police only to fulfill their own agenda. So every now and then you will have, and not just the UP chief minister, in many other states, you will have chief ministers making these comments about going after a certain kind of people, and that's what will be done. The Uttar Pradesh police, the Noida police is busy issuing circulars on where you can pray and where you cannot pray, which on legal grounds may be sound, but it just shows of what your priority is: cracking down on crime or something else, giving security to building memorials and statues or something else, fixing your collapsing healthcare, or going to other states and campaigning in other states and pointing out mistakes in other states. What's your priority? And I think the chief minister made it very clear in Uttar Pradesh what his priorities are as the star campaigner and the karyakarta of the BJP. Mani is on the phone line calling us from Mumbai. Good evening, Mani. Go ahead, please.
Good evening. Hi, Tanvi. Thanks for having me on. I think I've got a couple of things to say. One is Adityanath. I mean, I refuse to Yogi or Adityanath. Ajay Mohan Bish, as his name is, he better set his own house in order, to be honest with you, before trying to preach to other states on how they should run their affairs. I think it's high time that, I mean, given what we've seen in UP over the past few months, it's high time that we impose president's rule or something out there and you know, just boot him out, because he's tried to do his work and he's failed miserably. And I don't think a democratic government has any place for him, to be honest with you. The one saving grace from Mr. Modi and his promise on employment is that at the very least, I can get an employment as a Gorakshak and maybe hopefully earn some money, given otherwise the state of employment in UP and in the nation in general is pathetic.
Point taken, Mani. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, you know, as far as dissolving the assembly and asking CM Adityanath to go, perhaps they should actually do that, considering that any which way for the next 6 months he's only going to be very, very busy with campaigning for the BJP. He's their star campaigner and elections are just a few months away. So I highly doubt there's going to be much governance work taking place, at least not by the chief minister. Anita Agarwal, What would you say? क्या कहेंगे आप इस बात को कि जो की अक्यूज हैं, जो बजरंग दल से या बीजेपी से या बीजेपी की यूथ विंग से नाता रखते हैं, उनको पकड़ने का कोई अटेम्प्ट नहीं किया जा रहा है कि उनको इसलिए छूट दी जा रही है क्योंकि वो कहीं ना कहीं आपकी पार्टी से रिश्ता रखते हैं और गौ रक्षा के नाम पे गुंडागर्दी करते हैं? गीता भट्ट, आई सी योर हैंड, आई विल कम टू यू नेक्स्ट.
देखिए तन्वी जी बिल्कुल गलत है कि पुलिस उसको पकड़ने का काम नहीं कर रही है. पुलिस अपना पूरा काम कर रही है. पुलिस ने ही जाके कुर्की के आदेश कराए हैं. पुलिस ने जाके सबकी, ऐसा नहीं है कि पुलिस हाथ पे हाथ धर के बैठ गई है या वो बीजेपी से कंसल्ट है. कुछ ऐसा नहीं है. सबसे बड़ी बात नहीं, और जो मुल्जिम अननोन पकड़े गए हैं, जिनको मतलब जो ऐसे मुल्जिम हैं जो इनोसेंट थे, उनको वहीं के लोगों ने छुड़वाया, ये बजरंग दल के लोगों ने छुड़वाया है कि ये इसमें मुल्जिम नहीं है. ऐसा ये मॉब लिंचिंग था. मॉब लिंचिंग में जल्दी से पता नहीं चल पाया कौन क्या था, किसने क्या किया.
क्या बात कर रही हैं आप?
जितने भी आज 25 कम से कम
आपने वीडियो नहीं देखे?
25 लोग अरेस्ट.
क्या बात कर रही हैं आप?
25 लोग अरेस्ट हो चुके हैं.
वो वीडियो लेके बीच चौराहे में खड़े हो जाइए, सबके सब आइडेंटिफाई हो जाएंगे. मैं बताऊं आपको, आप वीडियो लेके बीच चौराहे में उस घुसगांव के खड़े हो जाइए, सबके सब आइडेंटिफाई हो जाएंगे.
पुलिस
मैं किस पुलिस पे भरोसा करूं? वो पुलिस जो 10 साल और 11 साल के बच्चों को डिटेन करके उनसे पूछताछ करती है गाय तस्करी के बारे में, या वो पुलिस जो इनोसेंट लोगों को पकड़ के जेल में डाल देती है और कहती है हाँ इन्होंने ही दंगा किया, इन्होंने ही सब गलत किया? मैं किस पुलिस का विश्वास करूं? वो पुलिस का विश्वास करूं जिसकी जो पुलिस कहती है कि हमारा बात अलग होती है। एक मिनट सुनिए अभी मेरी बात। रईस अख्तर जो कि एएसपी थे बुलंदशहर के, उनको इस कमेंट के बाद बाय द वे उनका ट्रांसफर भी हो गया, तबादला ही कर दिया उनका ये बोलने के लिए। उन्होंने कहा आवर मेन कंसर्न इज टू फाइंड आउट हु किल्ड दोस काउज, इट वाज द किलिंग ऑफ द काउज दैट लेड टू द प्रोटेस्ट, and so the murder and the rioting case is on the back burner. That's the message that has been told to us and we are following that. IG Ram Kumar said, why were the cows slaughtered? Who was behind this conspiracy? We want to, the bigger question is that rather than catching people who are available on camera. तो ये उन्होंने हमें बोला दिसंबर 6 को, दिसंबर 25 हो गई, 20 दिन लग गए, लेकिन आपने उनको नहीं पकड़ा जो कैमरा पे विजिबल है, उनको आपने नहीं पकड़ा।
देखिए ऐसा नहीं है कि जब वो सामने पकड़ा नहीं गया, ऐसा कुछ नहीं, वो वहां से पुलिस के पास नहीं पहुंच पाए, लेकिन आज पुलिस ने पूरी इंक्वायरी करके उनके कुर्की के आदेश कराए।
उससे क्या होता है? कुर्की के आदेश के अगेंस्ट तो वो भी कोर्ट चले गए,
उनके घर पे नहीं, ये पुलिस ही तो काम कर रही है, ये पुलिस ही तो काम कर रही है।
मुझे प्रॉपर्टी से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, मुझे ये गुंडे जेल में चाहिए,
जो गलत
ये गुंडे जेल में होने चाहिए और कुछ नहीं।
इन्फॉर्मेशन है जो
क्या गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन है बताइए?
देखिए गुंडे उन्होंने किसी के ऐसा नहीं, गुंडे जो भी है पुलिस को पकड़ेगी, जो भी मुलजिम है उसको पकड़ा जाएगा। वो
गुंडे है कि नहीं? गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन क्या है? नहीं, गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन क्या है? गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन क्या है अनीता जी?
कोर्ट भी उसको सजा देगी।
गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन क्या है बताइए?
गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन ये है कि पुलिस अपना कार्य नहीं कर रही है, पुलिस अपना कार्य नहीं कर रही है। ये गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन है कि पुलिस अपना काम नहीं कर रही है। पुलिस पे हम भरोसा क्या करें? पुलिस पे ही हमें भरोसा करके चलना है। पुलिस हम लोग का सारा कार्य कर रही है। आज यहाँ की जो पुलिस की वजह से सुरक्षित है, जो अपना सब घर परिवार छोड़कर देश के लिए आपके लिए काम कर रहे हैं उत्तर प्रदेश का, उससे भरोसा ना करें, गलत बात है। हमें पुलिस पे भरोसा करके चलना चाहिए। हम पुलिस को कह दे पुलिस हमारा कोई काम ही नहीं कर रही है।
बताएंगी कि आपकी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के युवा मोर्चा के एक स्थानीय अध्यक्ष का नाम इसमें है, इस हिंसा में, इस हिंसा में, तो क्या आपकी पार्टी ने, आपके संगठन ने कुछ एक्शन लिया है या नहीं? आप सरकार पुलिस के ऊपर बात कर रहे हैं, वो ठीक है, बहुत जरूरी है, पर उसके साथ साथ आप अपनी पार्टी की तरफ से क्या जिम्मेदारी लेती हैं? आपने क्या एक्शन लिया अभी तक?
नहीं, भारतीय जनता पार्टी का नहीं है। आपको शायद मालूम नहीं, कोई भारतीय जनता पार्टी का अध्यक्ष का नाम नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है, कोई भी नहीं है।
आप
हिंदू परिषद का बता सकते हैं, भारतीय जनता पार्टी का नहीं है।
अरे आपने शिखर अग्रवाल
भारतीय जनता पार्टी का
अनीता जी एक मिनट अनीता जी, पहली बात भारतीय जनता पार्टी नहीं, भारतीय जनता पार्टी का युवा मोर्चा जो है ना, यूथ विंग के मेंबर है वो। और अगर वो यूथ विंग के मेंबर नहीं है ना, तो बड़ी डर की बात है ये, क्योंकि वो तो दुनिया भर में जाते हो बता रहे हैं कि मैं यूथ विंग का प्रेसिडेंट हूँ एक क्षेत्र का, और मैं बीजेपी से उनके रिश्ते हैं। तो अगर नहीं है तो ये तो बड़ी आपके लिए कंसर्न की बात होगी।
जनता पार्टी को ना पता चलता
अब नहीं पता तो क्या हम क्या जाने कि आपको जनता पार्टी को ना पता है? सीपाल सिंह, या आप झूठ बोल रही हैं या आपको अपनी पार्टी के बारे में कुछ पता नहीं है, ये तो आप ही जाने। सीपाल सिंह वांटेड टू कम इन। यस मिस्टर सिंह,
हमें अपनी पार्टी के विषय मालूम है, वो पार्टी का व्यक्ति नहीं है।
It is very interesting and it's a very interesting phenomena. A very laughable. It is very interesting phenomena. It's very laughable phenomena. One side, one of the spokesperson says that the police reforms are essential, and therefore, if the reforms are there, they'll act independently. The second side, other functionary says, other spokesperson says, पुलिस को काम कर रही है, पुलिस तो बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही है। अरे भाई, पुलिस को काम करने तो दो, पुलिस को काम ही नहीं आप करने देते। मैं आपको बताता हूं, जब आपके समाजवादी पार्टी थी, तो इन डायरेक्शन के साथ जो 7 डायरेक्शन सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इशू किए थे, उसके खिलाफ आपने 749 इंस्पेक्टर लेवल और सब इंस्पेक्टर लेवल को ट्रांसफर कर दिया। नॉट इन कॉन्सोनेंस विद द डायरेक्टर। वो कोर्ट में गए, कोर्ट के बाद उनको फिर कहा गया कि नहीं ये हमारी इंटरनल प्रॉब्लम है, हमारे पास इधर उसको कंप्लाई नहीं किया। ये मैं कह रहा हूँ समाजवादी पार्टी के कैसे डायरेक्शंस उन्होंने कंप्लाई किया कि नहीं किया। आप कहते हैं कि रिफॉर्म लाओ, अरे रिफॉर्म में तो कह जगह मैं आपको कि रिफॉर्म के लिए उन्होंने डायरेक्शन इशू की सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, उसके बाद कंटेम्प्ट के बाद लिए हम लोग गए कि आपकी डायरेक्शन कंप्लाई नहीं हो रही, कंटेम्प्ट। उन्होंने कहा साहब हम कंटेम्प्ट का नहीं कर सकते, हमने डायरेक्टिव इशू किया। उन्होंने एक कमेटी बनाई, एक सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज के, उसने आके रिपोर्ट किया कि मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टेट्स आर नॉट कंप्लाइंग विद द डायरेक्शन।
यस,
आफ्टर दैट वर्मा कमीशन केम, वर्मा कमीशन अगेन एम्फसाइज द सेम थिंग। आप कह देते हैं पुलिस रिफॉर्म, ये अरे आप पुलिस को काम तो करने नहीं देते ना, उसके हाथ पीछे बांधे हुए या उसके सर के ऊपर आपने बंदूक रखी हुई है, और आप कहते हैं इट इज एंटायर बिकॉज ऑफ द पॉलिटिकल इन्फ्लुएंस। ऑफ कोर्स, as one of the panelists said, there is a criminal element in the police. I'm not denying.
Yes,
at
absolutely.
one time before I joined, there was some mullah commission came with a. That is not the issue.
And the fair point that you made, Mr. Singh, that nobody is going to bring in these reforms because it doesn't make any sense for the state governments and political parties. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting everybody here. I'm just interrupting everybody here, but I have a 10-second clip that I want to play. The rest of the Shikhar Agarwal video is slightly inciting, which is why we've not played it here. But listen to the initial part where he introduces himself. Here is Shikhar Agarwal, key accused, still at large, but free enough to issue video statements.
मेरा ही नाम शिखर अग्रवाल है। मैं बीजेपी का शाने का नगर अध्यक्ष युवा मोर्चा का हूं। जो घटना कल घटी थी, उस घटना को मीडिया ने, पुलिसकर्मियों ने,
and then he goes on to say how we are presenting the wrong image, that he was there, he found out कि वहाँ पे काव का carcass मिला है, वो अपने supporters के साथ वहाँ गया, and he tells his own bizarre version that makes no sense of the entire incident. The fact of the matter is, you heard the introduction where he says he is part and the president of one unit of the BJP Yuva Morcha. The other one is linked to the Bajrang Dal. The man who died, the rioter, also an accused, who died in this incident, was the son of a BJP man. It's very clear, viewers, what is happening here. The Adityanath government has zero interest in bringing those to justice who killed SHO Subodh Kumar. That cop who dared to stand up to a bigot, hate-filled mob was murdered in cold blood. And the state of Uttar Pradesh will not give him justice. Why? Because he wasn't a Gau Rakshak. If he was, he could get away with whatever he wanted to say and do, roam around freely, and nobody would be able to touch him, just like Shikhar Agarwal or Yogesh Raj. That's the state of affairs, and mark my words, it is only going to intensify. This hate-filled environment, these communal, divisive, polarizing tactics and politics will only intensify in the state of Uttar Pradesh, if not elsewhere, from here on to the summer. It's up to you, the viewer, the voter, to decide whether you want this to be the deciding factor for 2019. Thank you for joining us.